Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. David here,
Isaac,
and today, as you see, we're going to talk about football. Just disclaimer:
soccer. No, it's
football.
football.
I'm sorry, football. Never
Yeah.
call it soccer. Uh,
I mean, not never call it soccer
it's not right.
But-
It's not soccer. It's football.
because they actually use their foot.
Yeah. Oh, please. Oh, God. No, they actually use their feet to play with a ball. So football.
Right.
Makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
I'm like-
And then American football
You play with your hands.
should have really been called handball. But
Yeah.
then what would have handball been called?
Throwing ball.
Hmm.
But yeah, as you can see, we're big fans of football, and we know football, especially because from the country we're from, football is the sport that reigns.
And in
supreme.
case you ask, which country is that? We are from the Republic of.
Congo, yeah,
There we go.
and for those who don't know, it's in Africa, and
Central Africa.
Central Africa.
And there are two of them.
Yep, there are
There's
two
a
of them.
big one, there's a small one. They're both called Congo. One is the Republic of Congo, the other one is the Democratic Republic of Congo. It's a much bigger country. We're from the tiny one.
Yeah, and football, just like I say, reigns supreme most in every single countries in Africa. Every country is
Kind
in
of
Europe.
in the world here.
Yeah, except America, of course.
They still
Except-
play soccer here too.
Yeah, but it's not the top.
Not as, of course, not as
no,
much as
it's-
the
it
rest of
doesn't-
the world.
It's
But
not the top sport, but yeah,
I mean, we're a little weird here, right? We use like Fahrenheit instead of the metric
Yeah, the-
system,
the-
and we
the wa-
like
the US
American
is-
football instead
the
of
U.S. is
like
weird. The
real
U.S. is
football.
weird, but the U.S. is coming up with soccer now. They're
Right.
catching up. You
Now
saw
that
them
you've
on
got the goat over here.
of course, greatest of all time. Yeah, Messi, as everybody knows. Maybe not everybody, but as most people know now by now, Messi's in Miami playing
Yep.
for the Inter Miami soccer team. And when I saw it, it was sort of a shocker, but not really.
That he came here or that?
No, that he came here. He had a rough time in France, and people were like, "Oh, this just proves it that Messi cannot play in any other team than Barcelona."
And I don't think that's true.
It may be true because so far his record shows that he's struggled in France, but we all know why he
But-
struggled.
right,
in France.
because that's what I was gonna get to. Is he struggling in France because he's not good enough, or because he's not being allowed to succeed?
He's not being allowed to succeed, and people are seeing it. Oh no, that's not true. You're just saying it to say, but it's. I mean, it's true. It's the same thing for. I mean, just like in League of Legends, you know that guy what you were talking about, Peanut. You
Oh,
know?
Peanut,
Yeah,
yeah.
you go in a team. I like to play with this guy, but you won't allow me, so I can't bring my best. You
Right.
know? Like it's the same thing for Messi. If he's good at a certain play style, use it. I mean, he's still a pro. He can play in different play style, but if you like stop him from just being Messi, he won't do anything. So once he came to Miami, they're like, dude, you're the GOAT. You do you. He won the cup. He won the league.
And then, but I mean, he's also here where they don't play that much soccer, so
It's true.
maybe
It's true.
he didn't have to be the greatest of all time to win that cup. You know, it's arguable that any lesser player would have made a great impact. Any lesser player from the East, you know, like in Europe.
True.
And by lesser player, I mean just anybody else who is not the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, just because the level of play from here versus Europe is it's a huge gap.
There's a huge gap. Yeah.
So you know,
I mean, players who play in the Premier League, I mean, even in the Spanish league, you can't compare them to players here in the American league. You can't. They just build different. But that's where things gets interesting. Is Messi coming here going to bring the American soccer level to that same level as the European level?
you know, it's you have to think so, and maybe not necessarily. Well, actually, you know, I think it would over time
too.
because first of all, him coming here opens a gate
True.
for every other player. They realize that hey, he went over there. I can go over there too.
Mhm.
You know, so just like how CR7 went
Yeah, in the
over
Middle East.
to
Yeah.
the Middle East and opening that gate is like, hey, we can
Yeah.
come here too.
Even
He's
Benzema
shining.
went now.
Other
Everybody
people
is
are going over there.
Neymar is
Other
going.
people
Yeah,
are going to go over here over on the west side.
Mhm.
And those great players coming in, bringing their expertise, their level is going to kind of, first of all, to drive the soccer players here to get up to the level,
Mhm.
and then for the upcoming, like the fresh ones who are
Yep.
training to
Mhm.
hopefully
Mhm.
one day join a professional team, they're going to have a higher standard now that we've got such
Yeah.
great players.
Yeah, and some players who are already good can be discovered now because they weren't looking for you. They were looking
Right.
at this great player, but because you're there, they're like, hey, he's
He's
also
good
good
too.
too. Then you get poached by like maybe Barcelona or something.
Yeah, so now it's gonna be a bigger deal to play soccer. So for all of you high school kids out there who, actually love to kick the ball and such, now it
You can-
looks like you can actually go somewhere
Yeah.
real.
People might get scholarships now because of this,
And it's not that they weren't before. It's just it's gonna be a bigger
it's
deal
going
now.
yeah, it's going to be a bigger deal now. Like because me in high school, I tried to play soccer and I said football, and they brought me
Oh,
to
you
the
said football and they
yeah,
took you to the
yeah,
American
they pulled
football.
me to American. I was like, no, this is not what I asked for. So they brought me to soccer. That's how I realized, oh, it's called soccer here. So I went to play soccer and realized I can't. I'd rather learn a totally new sport. I can't. Like I was like even in our group of friends back in the day, I wasn't as good as them.
Yeah, you weren't good.
I
I,
wa- I
remember
was-
that.
I wasn't.
You were terrible,
No,
actually.
no, dude, I
you
was a
were
kid.
really
I
bad.
was a kid.
So was I.
No. I was
You know.
I was a good defender.
You are a pretty good defender. I was the better defender. I was the best defenseman, actually. I really was. I am known to be
I
the
was the
defenseman.
Puyol of our team.
Whatever.
Okay?
Whatever.
You could be Pepe.
I
you know?
remember you
No, I was
playing.
I was good.
Nobody wanted you on the team.
No, I was I was very good at soccer. But even at my level, at my skill level, and I played with them, I was like, I
It's like,
can't.
this is not gonna
This
work.
is not it. So I learned football.
But
American football
and not
instead.
to say that there is no talent here, because
Mhm.
some people here actually play really well. There
Yeah.
are some people who really play really well.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
soccer was just not a big deal
Mhm. For
here
them to like invest.
as it's
yeah.
going to be having Messi
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Because I'm Messi. Maybe you might find people like Aguero might come along. I don't know, Busquets.
Yeah,
People,
and the thing
like
of
great
it too
players.
is they don't all have to go to that team to Miami. You
Yeah.
know, to Florida. They could go
Anywhere they could go
somewhere
to
else.
Boston or I don't know the Red Bulls
Colorado
of New
Rapids.
York. Yeah,
they could
Colorado.
come here.
Yeah, they could come to Colorado too. They could come to LAFC. They could go there too, and that will just open the door to so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be so interesting, honestly. Really to see if those players do go to like a bunch of different states, and just seeing how that changes the whole dynamic of the whole kind of like soccer
Yeah.
world. You know, it'd be interesting to finally have an American club playing in one of those like higher leagues.
Yeah, and it won't just be for those who don't know, the Champions League is the after the World Cup, it's the biggest soccer championship in the world after the World Cup. And the Champions League won't just stop in America, Middle East, and Europe, Middle East, and North Africa. It's going to bring people even from the NA.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the true Champions
Yeah,
League.
and which and as you just mentioned the World Cup, I remember seeing America playing in 2018
Yeah, they were all right.
versus how they played last year.
Oh yeah,
They played a lot better this time.
Really?
They really did.
feel like
they
they
really
did-
did.
they did
Because
better in
they actually
18.
they actually moved. They beat a few teams. I think they won a few games,
Mhm.
and just the level of play is already was already rising.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so it's not
Yeah.
like you're not starting from scratch here. You already have talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's
it
true.
can't just be pushed further.
Yeah. So I feel like with the coming of Messi, it's opening so much. Like the doors are opened for like the true level of the highest level of soccer to come to the U.S. But that's also a thing, like because now people are going uh, to the Middle East because they pay a lot more money. So you're like, is the Middle East going to take all the players except America? How is this going to go? And that's also worry because I mean America has the money, but they're sending it to the NFL. They're not giving it to soccer. Not yet. Not yet. So for them to just do like a 360, okay, we're going to like
Yeah, well, okay, so that's not gonna happen,
that's
right?
not
I
going to
mean,
happen. Yeah.
American football is American football.
Yeah, but
it's gonna
but
always be the top
for
here.
but that's where they're going to lose. For people who are already making 70 million a year in some club in Europe, and here you're going to give them 50 million a year. They're like, I'm good. I'm not coming here.
Yeah, they'll just stay
Yeah.
where they are or go somewhere better.
Unless like people are like, well, that's what the deal they gave to Messi. No, Messi is making close to 1 billion. Apple is giving him some revenue of the streaming. Every T-shirt from the club revenue is given to Messi. Same thing for Adidas. Okay,
Adidas.
no Adidas.
Adidas.
No Adidas.
Are
It's
we really gonna? Should we have a Google tell us how to pronounce this brand name?
It's if you know
Adidas.
no. It's no, because if the FIFA pronounces it as Adidas, it's
Alright, fine.
it's
Whatever.
Adidas.
Whatever.
but yeah, I mean they're giving him so much money, so because the Middle East wanted to purchase Messi for 1.6 billion.
Oh.
Yeah, they wanted him to go for 1.6. Of course, it's not like we give you 1.6 right away. It's like they're going to give
Right.
the fees to the club, blah 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 blah. But that purchase is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he came here for like a couple million. That didn't seem right until like I did some digging and I realized, okay, he's getting like royalties here. He's getting some shares here.
But what if he's not coming here just for the money? What if he was thinking something more like, and I'm gonna get biblical here. You go on the west side and I go on the east side. If you go on the north side, I go on the on the south side, because as
Cristiano,
CR7 said himself, they've been sharing the stage for a very long time, and so if they are playing in like different geographic locations, that kind of like allows each one to shine, but like independently of the other. It's like
Yeah,
they're not both playing in Europe.
okay,
He's playing like over there. He's
yeah,
playing here.
I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I mean, for people who are still debating on the GOAT thing, this has proven. No, I mean the World Cup has already proven it, but this solid, this is the last proof.
This is the last proof.
Yeah,
Lay's the chips
yeah.
said that Messi is
But
the GOAT.
they're
That
biased.
settles it.
They're biased. It's their guy. It's their
Of
guy.
course
so
it's their guy.
biased. But the thing is, when Cristiano, like when CR7 started like his debut in the Middle East, he did have a lot of like attraction, but not as much as Messi starting up in Miami. That's dude, superstars.
I mean, he just won the World Cup, of course.
Superstars. Everybody came to this final to see Messi play. They wanted to see him play, and the attraction that Miami is getting right now, it's even greater than what CR7 did in the Middle East, because we have to be honest, the Middle East is a bit restricted in some aspect of life, and Miami is not like it's a free for all. And everybody can just fly there whenever and however they want. And people are just coming to see Messi. Like, even I wanted to buy a ticket to go see him. It's facts. I'm like, oh, damn, he was in Europe, but now he's here. I'm going too.
Yeah, well, you were never going to see him unless, you...
You never know. One day, I will have a shirt signed by Messi. And I will hang it.
And
I'm telling you, I will frame it, hang it. It's there.
Then after a few years, maybe you can sell it for a few $1 million.
I will never sell it.
Oh,
Never, never.
well,
That's
I'm not.
like a trophy right there.
Well, that's how people usually feel about these kinds of things. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, Messi here. I'm looking forward to seeing the impact of having that kind of player on American
Yeah, you're
soccer.
right. You're right. Me too. Me too. But the impact is already kind of showing.
No, because okay, there's always this, right? This makes me think of the restaurant In and Out.
Okay.
They came here to Colorado, and you had like lines that were hours long,
Mhm.
and you couldn't. You had to come earlier, or that's it. You're
Yep,
not
yep,
gonna get served
yep.
until noon. And then afterward, that effect dies down. It could be the same thing here. It's like, oh my god, the greatest player, he's here. People are foaming in the mouth and everything.
Impossible.
No, hold on. And then they're coming and they see him. And they're like, all right, I saw him. But I still don't like soccer that much.
It's impossible.
You know? So what is going to happen when, and I don't know that they play at the same time, soccer is happening and the Super Bowl is happening.
No.
If they play at the same time.
Even now,
That-
if they play at the same time, it will never be as big as the Super Bowl because the Super Bowl is like the NA event. There is no NA
not
event.
the NA event.
I
This
mean,
is an American
American
event.
event.
Very
Yeah,
USA.
Yeah, USA event. It's not. There is nothing similar like it for soccer. The only similar thing like it for soccer, it's in Europe and it's the Champions League. Now, if you're telling me they're having Champions League and they're adding NA into it, oh, different story. Nobody's going to like the numbers are going to be different. Everybody's on Champions League.
I don't know,
You
man.
know why?
Why?
Because there are more soccer fans. I'm saying soccer just for you guys to understand the difference. There are more soccer fans than American football fans.
But not in America.
No, even in America.
Stop. Because
I'm telling you.
every soccer fan in this country, well, I don't want to say every because I don't know, but I want to venture that most soccer fans in America also like American football.
90% of Africans, Latinos, Europeans who are in the US watches soccer. They don't watch football.
Fine.
And
Well,
that's
see, that's
a
the thing. That's the
big
thing.
percentage
You
of
don't-
America.
It's hard to say that they don't also watch football.
No, they-
now,
they do,
they
but if-
like football more than soccer?
No, because I
But how do we know?
I-
See,
I've
that's the
talked-
thing. That's
uh-huh.
what we're really going to see. We're gonna have to wait for the stats. When the
we
stats
have to-
actually,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
you know, and then we're gonna see that. Oh well, snap! People actually
But
do like soccer
it
more.
did happen. The
what?
World Cup and NFL at the same time.
It's a World Cup.
See,
It's a World Cup.
it's the NFL is the World Cup for.
Yeah, that's a country's cup. This is
It's-
the World
That's what they-
Cup.
when they talk about
America was playing in the World Cup. So then I don't know if we could like see stats. I would love to see the stats of before the times that there were no American teams in the World Cup, the soccer World Cup, like if they didn't make it, and then seeing the difference in the number of views for the
It's still-
NFL
and the World
in those
Cups,
days versus when they were playing.
even in those days, the World Cup is the World Cup.
No, I mean Americans.
Oh, okay.
I mean Americans. Like, how many more Americans would be watching the World Cup instead of watching the Super Bowl?
for the 2022, a big percentage watched the World Cup over the NFL. A big percentage. I was talking to a lot of my friends, even people that I worked with. I talked with them, and a lot of them said the same thing. Like, I'm going to watch the World Cup. This is like a one-time event every
Every 4 years.
Yes.
Right.
So it's different than NFL. Oh, fine, I'll watch it later on. But no, not the World Cup. It's like
Yeah,
the
it's-
Olympics.
yeah, it's like once every 4 years for
I'm like,
the
I'm
World
not-
Cup.
That's why I can only compare NFL to the Champions League. And I'm telling you,
The Champions League's a
the
pretty big
Champions
event,
League
though.
is making more money, more views than the NFL.
Well, of course, it's still a bunch of clubs all around Europe that are playing. I mean, this is just one country. This is one country. Over there, it's like a bunch of countries competing.
They want to. My issue and where I get pissed is when Americans just want to take NFL and shove it to people's face like, oh, we have this and it's better than any of your champion, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Well, you know, I mean, if somebody's spouting this kind of nonsense, it's
don't know.
just kind of somebody who's a little narrow-minded. They don't want to open up and see the world as it is. Because in reality, for Mr. Narrow Mind here, most of the world watches soccer.
It's true. It's true.
And they play soccer, they like it more, and they don't know anything about American
Yeah, and
football except for
American
what they've seen on TV.
American football only stops in the U.S.
Yeah, because the rest of the world plays what? Rugby?
Rugby.
For those who play that kind of
Yeah.
sport?
The rest of the world plays soccer, rugby, cricket, whatever. But American football stays here.
That's why it's called American football.
It stays here. But I mean, I see. There's back to the angle that we're talking about. Like, will people watch it over soccer here in America? I think it will get there. Like if
It might get
no,
there.
it will.
I don't think that...
If
what?
only if American clubs are willing to spend enough money bringing talents from Europe to here.
And that really is kind of like...
That's the only way.
the deciding factor
Yeah,
really
yeah,
here
that's the
is
deciding factor.
because those players are not cheap, right?
Oh,
And
no.
soccer not being the main sport here, I'm assuming that these American clubs don't have as much money as those European clubs. So how likely then is it that you have a great influx of European
How likely?
players coming here? I don't think it's very likely.
Inter Miami, Apple, and Adidas, they both combined.
3.
Yeah, they both combined and forced themselves to bring Messi here. That's the statement. They united as one front to bring Messi here. Why? Because they understand we need him to launch this thing that's soccer.
But that's only because he turned down...
So I'm pretty sure they will be more willing to do the same thing for
I mean,
other.
you're seeing how much they're spending for one player. I know that's like the greatest player of all time.
Is the GOAT.
But if you're gonna take some other high-end player,
I'm going to take, for example, of course, nobody is going to take, I don't know, somebody like Mbappe. Of course not. The French will never like let him go.
I mean, what are they gonna do? Hold him hostage if he wants to come?
The
He'll
Middle
come.
East offered him $1 billion to go. He's like, you know why? It feels like they gave him shares in some French clubs or something. That's what I feel like.
Well, I mean, he is like
The guy is like a club manager.
he is like the jewel of France.
Yeah, he just shows up like,
as far
I
as
don't want to play with this guy. Kick him out.
he is the jewel of France as far as soccer is concerned. So we're talking about
I feel like he
favoritism
should be
in
like
our other
tackled in
video.
the calves or something.
Huh?
Well, I feel like somebody should tackle him in his calf or
Why?
something.
He's a great player.
No,
he plays really well. He has a lot of
He's
talent.
so arrogant.
He
bro.
he does come off this way. Let's not say that he is, because what do we know of him?
He's not a good kind of arrogant like Ibrahimovic. That guy is
Ibrahimovic.
it's Ibrahimovic. That guy is the good kind of arrogant.
I
good
don't
guy.
see the difference, see, because
No.
Ibrahimovic is, and I'm saying his name because that's the only way I know how to say his name.
It's Ibrahimovic.
Whatever.
Well,
Well-
Vich, technically, yeah. But
He was, because he's retired, a great player.
a
And
good guy, too.
And, he was fully aware of it, and he took...
He wasn't full of himself.
He
Because
was full of
no,
himself.
Every time he's arrogant, he backs it up.
Right.
You know why he didn't win the Ballon d'Or? Because Messi and Cristiano were there. He couldn't breathe. Those guys are up there. You're like, I don't have any chance.
But
What's
I mean,
this?
it's the same thing with Mbappe here.
No.
Hold on, because he could have gotten that Ballon d'Or if Messi didn't beat him to it.
No, Benzema beat him to it. Benzema beat
Benzema a eu
Messi.
ça.
Yeah, he
Hein?
just won it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not well informed.
He beat CR7, Messi.
Benzema a eu le ballon d'or.
Yes.
Qui lui a donné ça? Tu vas mettre les six. Oh, qui lui a donné le ballon d'or?
Je veux pas bleu.
Mets les six. I'm just saying, what? Benzema got the ballon d'or?
Okay, no disrespect to Benzema.
No, I'm just, well, I guess, I'm just surprised because there's like
He did.
Cristiano Ronaldo
He's
and
the
all
20
like those great players. Benzema is a great player, of
He's
course.
the 2022 Ballon d'Or.
Yeah,
Benzema.
well, I need to like watch some of his games because
Benzema is
I
him.
always knew he was good. I knew he was good. He's really good.
He needed it.
But
He just needed Cristiano to leave.
so he could
yeah.
finally work his.
Yeah, because
all right,
yeah,
well,
the game was just around him. So move.
right, because that is what they tend to do, right? They play around this one player, and it's always him all the time.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Messi could not really do much, right, in
Yeah,
PSG, because if the game is already centered around Mbappe, then what am I here
I mean,
for?
it's good too. It wouldn't have been that big of an issue, but I feel like it was also psychological because like the country doesn't like you, the club doesn't like you, some of your teammates don't like you.
Which is weird. I mean, if we like stray in the world of League of Legends here for a little bit, we're a small time team, and Faker says, I'm gonna join you guys for a few months. Who would hit him? He's like, Faker, please sit wherever you want. You can play any champion at any time.
There is one thing people like if you're American, you don't know this about France. But France is known for if you're good to us, we love you. Mess up once and we will act like we never know you in our life and we will bash you.
Well, I mean, again, right? So you can't really say that about a whole country, right? A
I
country,
will say this about the whole
a
country.
country is made of a lot of
I'm talking
people.
about you, Francois. I know
Yeah,
where you.
get it. A country is made of a lot of people, and they don't all behave this way. You
they
always
don't.
have
No,
a
they
few
don't.
hooligans, who misrepresent a certain group of people. That's what we have a lot of with many minorities.
Yeah,
you
same
know,
thing
where
for the
like
police too.
a few bad cops make a lot of good cops look bad.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
it's
Hey,
always
if you
a risk.
guys want us to talk about this topic about the cops thing, like being black in America, let us know in the comments. That's something that came up. too.
Being black in America, I'm
Yeah.
tired of this color stuff, man. Color is just pigment. I have a little extra. Some don't have as much. We all have it. It's just a stupid molecule. Get over it.
That's not what France is saying. France has a very
Oh.
clear view about this.
But this is scientific. I'm a biologist, okay? I can tell you it's melanin, okay? It has a little color. It appears like this.
We know.
When you have a high concentration of it, this is what it looks like. When you have a lower concentration of it, you look more like people who have less concentration of it. That's it. That's it. We all have it. It's a molecule. Get over it.
Now let me answer him like they do.
People are more than color.
We know. That's how the world will respond to you. We know.
Well, it's really sad. That's all I have to say about
but
it because
but
it's silly.
like they were being racist to Messi, Neymar. I mean, it's known. Okay, it's known. We don't have like, oh, have you seen this? It's on YouTube. You see French like supporters, just fans, just come from on a Neymar in front of Neymar's house, Messi's house, and just screaming slurs for him to get out of the country. You're like, damn.
Yeah, again, like I was saying, a bunch of hooligans will make the whole, like I guess they can make the whole country look
then
bad
when you
in this
hear
case.
it to some of the country's leader, I assume that's how the country thinks. It's not my fault. When a leader of a country says, yeah, but they weren't the best, but we had to have them. They did good, but those
Yeah,
guys.
that's not a good comment to make. That's a really bad comment to make.
What are you saying? And he's pointing this. Okay,
Because you're not saying that they shouldn't be harassing our players. Because that's the thing. You signed a contract with them. They're playing for your team. They're your players. You're together in this. So you should be you know, defending them. You shouldn't be okay with them being harassed by some low lives of your country.
Mbappe he has to be careful. Right now, he's the crown jewel. He's like, oh, this is our
But
baby.
then next time he misses that penalty,
Yeah, just mess up once, and you'll feel it.
oh, they'll forgive him.
Oh yeah, that's why they call us the tirailleurs. Okay, that's a little one for the people who hear French. But yeah, it wasn't right, and people are judging Messi because of his experience in France. But it's the same thing for Cristiano Ronaldo. What happened to him going back to Manchester United? He goes back before he goes to the Middle East. He goes back. What he saw there, he's like, well, the club hasn't updated anything.
Improved.
Nothing has improved, and he wasn't even talking. He just felt frustrated. But the coach benched him, dude.
Well, you know how people are, because I mean,
LeBron
those-
James comes to play for the Nuggets in Denver, and you bench him,
Yes.
dude. You will be, you will be stoned before you get to your house. It's mad.
Well, you know, I mean, these people are always thinking a certain kind of way, right? Because it's like, yes, so you're CR7. I don't give a damn. You're a player like just like anybody else, and so I don't need you to be whining about the equipment. Just nobody else is whining. Why are you complaining?
He wasn't
you know?
whining. He only talked.
No, of
after.
course not. But that's usually that you know how people are, and they take things a certain way. And if he took it that way, then you know he's like, you know what, with your own whining, go ahead and be benched, and we're gonna do it without you.
His daughter died.
Whose daughter?
CR7.
Really?
Yeah, while he was in Manchester United.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
At that time, he's like, I can't play. I'm not coming to practice. Like, I'm dealing with this. And the club manager and the coach were like, oh, he's playing.
Yeah, so
fake,
they're
blah, blah,
like,
blah.
right, because
Yeah,
like, oh, because you think you're so and so, it's
Like,
you
no,
you
this
feel
is-
like you can't
this is-
come to
This
practice.
is what's happening to me. And they didn't give him any like breathing room. No, they just bash him, goes on the news, bash him. And once he gets on the news, he's like, you know what? I'm going to expose you guys. And once he's talking, oh, he's the bad guy now. Oh, he's stabbing his team in the back. How can he
It's like
expose
you
the team?
stabbed
Like,
me in the back first.
I'm like, don't get me wrong. CR7 is one of the greatest player ever. And even for me, I'm a Messi fan, but even for me, it was outrageous. Benching him, even if he doesn't come to practice for a week, you're fine, good. You're fine. I wouldn't bench him. Dude, the guy has 5 Ballon d'Ors. And this coach, how many do you have? Exactly. See what I'm saying? Exactly. You probably don't even have half. You weren't probably part of the selection.
Well, you know, I mean, that's just people are just like that, and that's really unfortunate that
It's not right.
you can make kind of like this kind of selfish decision because it doesn't help your team to not have this kind of talent playing when it's available to you. You know,
But
it's
they-
just like I was saying with Faker here. If Faker was coming here and we said we don't need you to play, we're good. We have our mid laner. What?
What?
No. Well, you know, and that's how people are. But now he's over there.
Yeah.
I haven't really been watching the new developments.
he's-
I
he's
can
al-
only be guessing that he's doing well,
Oh, he's doing fantastic.
right? And
doing
he's
great.
already having a little pull, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Some players from the East are
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're going there. Yeah.
from Europe are
Yeah.
also going, which
Yeah,
you know, and
Benzema joined.
that's
He's there. Yeah.
it's really gonna be interesting. It's really I am looking forward to really seeing the dynamics change, you know, of having those great players in those regions that didn't really have a whole lot of like soccer.
No, but because
Paul.
of them, it's going to happen now. Yeah, it's going to happen now. And I mean, soccer is just great, but
It's a good sport.
there's also
wonderful
a
sport.
dark side to it. Like,
That what people are mean, jerks, and toxic.
no, not just that, but people kill themselves over soccer. They couldn't make it to the pro league. Like some people who have like raised kids just to be a pro. Like from an early age, he's been trained to be a pro, and the kid doesn't have any childhood, and he's
Well, I mean, parents who do that, I know that every parent has their parenting style, but that's really selfish. I'm just gonna go out there and tell you what I think. That's just selfish. You're not supposed to live your life through your kid. You had your time, you messed up, you know. Because, I mean, your kid could become a pro, but if he hates it, he hates his life because you forced him to
Yep.
live this way. It's like, maybe it doesn't work
yeah.
with him.
That's the. I mean, I know it happens in basketball and
It happens in a lot of
yeah,
things,
but
like
but in
heck,
soccer, it's,
ballerinas and
in
such.
soccer is so much worse because some countries like their economical value just comes from the soccer clubs, and if
Really?
the yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, you can may say most
Most, not all,
or
but
a lot.
yeah. For example, like the kids in Brazil, like they're like Ronaldinho was saying it back in his day in his neighborhood. The only way for us to become something, we had to play soccer and join the pro league. If beside that, there's no future. There's no way to go to school. We don't have money to afford it. Even the shoes, that's the same shoes I've been having for 5 years. My feet can't even fit in them. We have to play like without shoes outside. And you see,
Yeah, we used to
well,
play
we
without
used to
shoes.
do that too. But
Yeah, it gets dangerous.
yeah, and it's crazy. So for those, that's some of the dark side of football. Of course,
I
we-
mean, among other
yeah, among other
right?
things, but yeah, and racism in football is very important. Like you don't know, like at the extent people are willing to go for the sport that they love. What was that guy again? Valdez, that player for in
The goalie?
no.
Yeah, it's kind of a general name
This
there.
guy's-
I'm sure
no,
there's.
no, no, no. I forgot this guy. But some Latino, Africans, black, okay, black Latinos in Europe, they get like like throw like bananas at them.
Yeah, they get spat on all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff. And
You know that
yes,
guy Balotelli
Mhm.
in Italy?
Yeah, I know. I know. He's just. You really have to like have strong mental fortitude there. I mean,
Yeah.
like you're doing the best you can. You're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're doing great,
Yeah.
and they're still hating you. You
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Same thing happened with Samuel Eto'o.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, there is a lot of that, but I mean, what can you do? Unfortunately, the world is racist.
That's true.
That's just how it is. There is racism in every country, and I mean that every country. Racism is not just the white man hating the black man. No,
No.
the black man hates the white man and hates the yellow man, and so on and so. And there's just all this worthless hatred everywhere. Heck, sometimes the black man hates the black man too, and the
Yeah,
white
yeah,
man
yeah.
hates the white man, and the yellow man hates.
Yeah.
The red and the
It's-
all the colors of the
it's
rainbow hating one another.
It's stupid. It's stupid. But that's the life we live in. I'm not going to end like on this bad note.
On this
Yeah,
racism note.
it's not great, but yeah, I mean, the greatest of all time, Messi, he's here, man. Are you going to go watch him?
No.
I'll do my best to catch a flight and watch a game. I'll do my best.
Maybe one day we will.
Like one day we will, and we'll maybe going to stream it too, or I don't know, do something about it.
Stream.
Maybe film it. I mean, streaming is the best way to like show live performance, or instead of just filming it, editing it, posting it, streaming just.
I
right
mean,
away.
if we can get seats, sure, why not?
I mean, you got a phone. You just stream on your phone and you post it. And
Right.
Just go
It's
right
just
away.
like we get in the stadium first, and then we
Yeah.
can decide whether we want to stream or
yeah,
not.
but yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe,
Comment.
Don't forget to comment, and peace.